G'day all you wonderful people, welcome to Adventure Together. My name's Al, trail name Lookout, and today I am continuing my tour of the lakes of Oregon by walking 31.9 miles today, and I'm going to be going up to a lake. I haven't checked out the name of it. The comments for the lake say that it's a good place to camp and very few mosquitoes. Very few still means some, so I'm not exactly excited about that. Let's get going, shall we? How was that for an ominous warning? Watch out for bears! Oh no! I've seen one! He's just there. I don't think he's spotted us yet. See if we can creep by. Oh, he's got a set of rules. Only you can prevent wildfire. His eyes seem to be following me. That was a close one, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, I think we got away with it. So, ladies and gents, I saw a comment on a video that came out recently in the time that I'm filming this, but not so recently when you're watching this, and it said that something along the lines of, it's a shame that your Tramily for the Sierra broke up and fell apart because I thought you guys were friends. And I wanted to kind of address that comment because there is a story behind that, and it's not quite as juicy gossip as you might think. So there were 7 of us that got together around Kennedy Meadows South, and that group came together because Stitches had hiked with all of us at one point or another. She'd hiked with Pisa from Big Bear to Wrightwood. She'd hiked with Rooster for some time before and after that. I think she hiked with Rooster all the way to Kennedy Meadows South and until the point he left. She had hiked with Jackpot, Bushwhack and Worth It across San Jacinto before she injured her ankle and had to get the stitches for which she earned her trail name. And she hiked with me, as you saw in the videos. We first met when we were staying at a Trail Angel's house at the Paradise Valley Cafe, or opposite, and then we met up and hiked together with Rooster for a couple of days across Mount Baden-Powell and I think a couple of days onwards until I got off at Agua Dulce. Stitches really sort of brought that crew together, but we were all pretty much solo hikers, or those who weren't solo hikers were just hiking in small groups before. So when we got together, she kind of stitched us together, I guess is a good phrase. This is a solid group of people who are all competent hikers, who I would trust to go through the Sierra with, who all want to go through the Sierra and don't have a big group to go with. So that's how the group came together. And yeah, we got on and we were friends. We are friends. And there was never any plan for any of us to hike together beyond the Sierra. And the fact that Jackpot and Bushwhack did hike for a while together afterwards, and Worth It and I hiked together afterwards, and that Lotto, who came in later, hiked on with Stitches, is all a matter of our schedules lining up at that point. So yeah, it wasn't that our Tramily broke apart through ill will or any kind of animosity. It's that it simply served its purpose, and that was to get us all through the Sierra. So no drama, no gossip, nothing like that. All it was just a bunch of people that came together to get through the Sierra safely. Once that was achieved, there was no reason for any of us to stick together. So there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 10:02 in the AM and I've just checked my mileage. 17.4 miles. 17.4 by 10 AM. Today's hiking has been pretty cruisy, to be honest. Now, I've had one big hill and it's not been that big, to be honest. It's only 2.7 miles of climbing. So apart from that, it's been pretty cruisy up and down. So good terrain makes all the difference. So ladies and gentlemen, with what I was talking about earlier, I did mention schedules and why some people ended up hiking together. So let me touch on that briefly so that I can explain what I meant by the schedules. Stitches is on a sabbatical from her career and she has to be back at work in mid-September, but she doesn't want to go straight from the Pacific Crest Trail to her office chair. So she wants like a couple of weeks to see family and friends and transition back into that and get used to being off trail. So fair enough, she wants to be done on 31st of August. Lotto also wants to be done on the 31st of August because he has his work to go back to. So he wants to get done as soon as possible as well. So that's why Stitches and Lotto are hiking together. Pisa set out with them because he originally wanted to also be done by the end of August latest, but he's since decided that he actually wants to enjoy his summer and he's taking each day now very slowly so that he can make the most of being out here instead of rushing through it just to get to a self-imposed deadline. Jackpot also says he wants to be done as soon as possible, but he doesn't actually have any kind of deadline. He has nothing to get back for that he has to be back for on a certain date. He just wants to be done as soon as possible. Bushwhack, on the other hand, has no real deadline apart from the end of his visa, which is sort of mid to late September, and because of that he has no reason to rush, so he's taking his time and enjoying everything as he goes. Worth it wants to be done. He has no deadline to get back for, but he wants to be done as soon as possible. But because of the 8 days he had to take off so that he could go back to Sweden for his father's funeral, he is quite far behind everyone and he is catching up fast as well. He's putting in massive miles because he wants to be done, and I haven't spoken to him recently, so I don't know if he's set himself a date. All he said to me is he wants to be done ASAP. And that leaves me. What's my schedule? Well, my schedule has always been 12th of September, and for those of you who were watching last year's vlogs, you may know what the significance of 12th of September is. It is my birthday, and I can't think of any better way to celebrate my birthday than to be sat on top of the northern terminus at the border of Canada. What a great way to celebrate a birthday. That has been my aim since before I started trail. No matter what the permit date I got, I was going to be on top of that terminus on 12th of September. And I have scheduled my days and my mileage from the very start so that I can make that happen. So there we go. That is why we all have separate schedules, and once we got through the Sierra we went our separate ways. Everyone wants to be done at different times, but although it seems now that everyone wants to be done on the 31st of August except me, myself and Bushwhack, and that's why we're no longer hiking together. So ladies and gents, it is exactly midday, and that's 2 hours since we last talked about my mileage. And now, with a water stop to filter water, drink water, and also talking to you, I've now come 23.6 miles. So, and 6 miles in the last 2 hours, including stopping for water. I think we're cruising along. So ladies and gentlemen, we are leaving the Warm Springs Indian Reservation and entering Mount Hood National Forest. Let's go. How's that for a sign, ladies and gentlemen? That looks so grand, the way that it's been carved. Well, that looks very grand as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a small spring, and I'm going to dip my feet in it for a bit and have lunch. Boom, and just like that, 1 hour is gone. Over in a flash. Dip my feet, eat some food, and now back to hiking. So ladies and gentlemen, it's 3:20 and we've got to the spot that I said I was going to try to get to today. And look at this. Stunning. Let's go and try and find a spot. Oh no! Designated campsite. My heart is broken. This is a designated campsite, which means you need to go and get a permit and everything. Let's decide what's going to happen next. So ladies and gentlemen, I've come to a decision, and that decision is I am going to go and swim, but as the campsite that I had picked out is a designated campsite, which means people have reserved it and you have to go to the park office to reserve it and all of that kind of stuff, and you can't just turn up and pitch a tent like I was going to. I'm going to go swim, then I'm going to get on my way, and apparently there's a lake that's a little further up, a couple of miles up, and I'm going to go close to there. There's some tent sites on the corner close to there. That looks like where I'm going to stay tonight, and that lake looks beautiful, apparently. That's what people have said. It's probably something that I would have walked past in the dark and not seen it properly, so, you know, every cloud there's a silver lining. This is such a beautiful section of forest. Oh, we've hit a boardwalk. Oh, very nice. Reminds me of New Jersey. The New Jersey boardwalk on the Appalachian Trail. And now a bridge. It's all very fancy today. Pacific Crest Trail, this way, over and so this looks like I might use it as my campground tonight. Pretty flat, and yeah, pretty shaded too. But there is something else. There is Little Crater Lake in a quarter of a mile, and that is the one that people have said is beautiful. So let's go. More boardwalk. Wow, that water is so clear. You can just see all the way it just drops off into a pit. This info board tells us everything we need to know about it. So feel free to pause the video and have a read. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and make it easier for you. There you go. The water looks so good. I've taken 3 litres to drink for tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Green Palace has been put up and is ready for residency. So that means I'm going to cook my dinner and chill and stretch and then go to sleep. But I am so glad that I've made the extra miles to come to this spot from where I was going to be. The walk was amazing, just such a lovely walk through the trees, such an amazing path. I loved it, and getting to see the volcanic lake was incredible as well. The lake is so beautiful, and I would have been sad if I'd known it was there and missed it, because I would have walked past it in the pitch black dark and not get to see it at its full beauty. So as I said earlier, every cloud has a silver lining, and there's only so much swimming in the lake you can do before you realise you're on a slope site next to a cold lake with a wind coming in and mosquitoes around you. So this is a much better place to be. And with that, that's everything I have for you. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Green Palace is erect and ready for residency. That sounds really weird.